So we're joined with Hawks CEO Stuart Munro for a sort of community off the pitch and on the pitch update. First of all, Stuart, on the pitch, the Hawks have been flying. You and the board must be delighted.
Yeah, we are. It's been a good start to the season, but only a start, Adam. We're still in September. Nothing's won or lost in September. But if you told us at the beginning of August that we'd have 26 points out of 30, I think we'd have bitten your hand off. But as I say, it's early days. We are playing well. I think this last week probably sums up how the season's gone so far. We were 2-1 down with 5 minutes to go at Welling with 10 men, and we dug out a point, which we thoroughly deserved, mind you, at least a point. And then we went to Weymouth on Tuesday night, and let's be honest, we got battered for 75 minutes. But Weymouth never put us to bed. And Danny Wright and James Robert popped up with 2 goals in the last 10-15 minutes and to win us the game. So that's the way the season has been going. I think now we've got a stronger squad this season than we had last season. Paul and I always talk about what's behind him on the bench, and I don't think we had enough strength in depth last season. And now when Paul's got problems on the pitch or injuries, he can turn to his bench, and players coming on don't make a lot of difference to the team. They're as good as the players that are on the pitch. I think that's proven on Tuesday night again, where unfortunately Jason got a bad knock on the head, and Danny Wright came on and let's say he beat up their 2 centre-halves and got a great goal, and I think that proves the squad. The players we've brought in are winners. We're in this league to win, from the board down to the team. And I think that the players, the 4 or 5 we brought in, are winners. That's not always the case these days with certain football players, but we certainly have a team that want to win every game, and we try and win every game.
So out of those first 10 games, 6 of them have been away, 4 have been at home. How good is it to have all those fans come on the road with us and cheer them on?
I think it makes a massive difference. I think there's a bond starting to form, particularly with the away fans in the team. I could see that at Welling last week. The fans really appreciated how we dug in and got that point. And I told the players that afterwards. And then on Tuesday night, the players said to me that to get 85 fans at Weymouth on a Tuesday night, and the support they gave the players said to me it made a tremendous difference. So I think it works both ways. I think there's a togetherness that's now forming in the club. I think the players trust the fans and the fans trust the players, particularly in away games. And I think that only bodes well for the future.
Absolutely. And while we're on the topic of on the pitch stuff, Hawks Women have been created since we last speak. How good is it to have that sort of second team around this place?
Yeah, I think that it's been very popular. Women's football is on the up after the summer. And we took the opportunity to create a women's Havant and Waterloo women's team. They play in the Hampshire League. I know there was a good turnout for all the trials, and they've got a very good team. I think they've had some good results and some good support as well coming in through the gates. I think they had 100, 150 for their first home game. So, I mean, it shows what we're doing in the football club. The amount of community teams, ladies teams, walking football teams. The 3G gives you the opportunity to do that, and it was only a natural step for us to start up a women's team of our own.
And the start of a new season brings a new academy team this year, and there's been 58 new registered players. It's brilliant to see, these younger Hawks coming in and joining our setup here. Yeah,
58 is the most we've ever had. We've had to bring a new classroom in to fit them all in. Unfortunately, I know they lost last night in the Youth Cup after getting to I think it's the 3rd qualifying round, lost on penalties. But I've watched them myself this season, and there's some good players in there. And 2 or 3 are already training with the first team. So great news for the football club. Great that they're already coming through. I mean, young Leon Baker has come out of the youth team. He's now on loan at Bognor Regis. And he's very, very close. He's already made his first appearances in the first team, and I know Paul rates him very highly. So that only goes to show that the lads that have just joined us in the academy, that there is an opportunity for them and they will be given an opportunity at this football club.
So other brand new initiatives that we have are our newly formed after school clubs and revamped mini hawk sessions. It's great that we can use our 3G pitch for these schemes for the local area.
Yeah, I mean, we've started a mini hawks for 2 to 6 year olds every Wednesday at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And we've gone, as I say, we've gone 3 weeks. I think we've got 30, 35 kids in there. And I was there this Wednesday myself, and they're having some great fun on the pitch. The parents join in. Obviously, we have our own coaches helping them, but it's fantastic to see. On the back of that, we started 2 after-school clubs during the week for the older kids from 6 to 14-year-olds. And again, we're starting that next week, and we're already inundated with people that want to come to the club. So it is really, really taking off. I think Charlotte and Gary said to me that we're now getting over 2,000 people through the club each week with our grassroots football, with our coaching sessions, with the hire of the pitch for men's teams, girls' teams. So it really does give a buzz to the football club that I'm pleased to see. You come in the door, like this morning, and there's the walking football happening. I just think that the football club's on the up, but off the pitch is on the up as well.
And we're moving into October, which sees the return of our holiday course and tournaments.
Holiday course starts at half term at the end of October. Been a massive success the last 3 or 4 that we've had. We feel it's still cheap for people to come. We understand the restrictions of people and the cost of living these days, so we're trying to keep the price down as much as possible. But it's very, very worthwhile for the kids to come along, and we'll obviously be doing that at Christmas as well, and other half terms into next year.
And people can come in and see the first team games thanks to our community partners with our fantastic schemes. We've got the Wesley tickets and we've got the schools tickets now going out to schools.
With 1,000 season tickets go out to schools in the last couple of weeks. So we're hoping that our next home game against Concord we'll see some of those kids coming in. The Wesley tickets are still available. And if I'm honest, Adam, I'm just slightly disappointed with some of our home gates. We've probably been averaging 700 or 800. I'd like to see that well over 1,000. And I think the way the team are playing, that should be rising all the time. Again, I do understand how much it costs to get into a game of football, but we are one of the cheapest in the league, and we're certainly putting on performances on the pitch that would warrant people to come and watch and be excited. I get excited when we watch us play. I think we've scored nearly 3 goals a game this season. So the entertainment's there. We just need to keep pushing hard to get people to come and watch.
And I think I remember last year when those schools tickets did go out, it gave the team such a buzz seeing all the kids running around.
Well, the noise as well that they create. We all like youth in the grounds. They create an atmosphere. They did create a lot of noise, a lot of singing last year. So we're looking forward to seeing them back now we've given the season tickets out to schools.
And there's just such a buzz and atmosphere around the ground at the moment. As you say, the club are definitely on the up, and we've got a 3rd round qualifying match coming up in the FA Cup. It's such an important competition.
FA Cup's always important. I mean, the board treat it importantly because the money we can win. I seem to get more nervous on FA Cup days than I do on league games, but that's probably because there's finance at stake. Tough game tomorrow at Carshalton. Steve and Kim, their manager, is very good friends with Paul and Bailey. They were all together at Sutton, and knowing how Steve and Kim was how he was as a player, we'll have a tough game tomorrow. And it's the end of a tough week for us as well. Welling away, Weymouth away, then Carshalton. I think I worked out that we'll be doing somewhere between 550 and 600 miles by 5 o'clock on Saturday. But we're hoping to get to the 4th qualifying round, but we know how tough it is going to be tomorrow.
Absolutely. And just quickly off the pitch, the Wesley, our pub, there's been some changes.
Yeah, we felt that we needed to bring in a more experienced manager in the Wesley. We brought Gary Martin in, who's run big chain pubs before, and it's been very successful so far. We're only 4 weeks in, but Gary's working very closely with Ellie on the event side, the function side, and that's taking off. We're already looking like we've got a lot of bookings for Christmas. We're starting to organise what we're going to do for the World Cup in November. We've got New Year's Eve party organised. We have weddings, christenings, wakes. So anybody who wants to come in and book, speak to Gary, speak to Ellie, and they'll try and fit you in the diary, but it's filling up fast. We have a lot of feedback from customers on the new service we're giving in the function room, and it's great feedback, and that's all credit to our staff of Charlotte, Ellie, Gary, and the two Garys, Gary Pratt and Gary Martin, and obviously yourself, Adam, as well.
Thank you very much, Stuart.
Thank you.